Let there be light, and there was light. Okay, words of the said Godmother Eve. So I would like to continue on, of course, the 14 gods, more on the gods. And this series of presentations, it's really to sort of have little anchors in place that we will be able to establish the essence of our function, or how the gods are really functioning through us at a deeper level, because there's more in-depth understanding that I want to convey, but I'm feeling that we need to elaborate a little bit more on these teachings here and get to really understand the gods and their numerical values, and what does that mean to us, or how do they work together. And this is important because they are actually working through us. So each one of us is really working with the gods. The gods is, we are little cells, you could say. We are cells of the gods. So basically, when we are called to be co-creators with Mother Eve, or create man in our image and likeness, and we are in obedience. I say obedience, this is a word, I don't know, but we are in agreement, or we are submitting to, or being submissive to this. What? None of these words are sounding, but it's okay. But when we are submissive or in agreement, or we are co-creating with Mother Eve on that subject, that means we are healthy cells. We are being expressions of healthy God cells, meaning good cells. And that is what it was for Mother Eve when it was said she was the mother of all living. And the mother of all living, in this sense, what is living is of life, and what is life is good. And Eve saw that everything, or the fruit which she was really condemned for, she saw it was good. The word good equals 5. So we are talking about the said God here. So we have the word good, G-O-O-D, which is basically, we are good. What we need to be able to realize, this is what Mother Eve did. This is God. And there is 1 0 or 1 O missing here. The O has a value of 6. So this is 7. That's 7, 6, 6, 4. Adding these together would be 10, 16, 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now, what's important to note here is, there is God, G-O-D, and there is 1 O here with the value, the numerical value of 6. That is us. We need to see ourselves. The whole game is about seeing ourselves good, seeing ourselves in this, ourselves, like ourselves. We are cells, and we need to see these cells good. But for us to see these cells good, we need to be actively engaging with the gods to understand how they function in us, to know, to see ourselves good. So when people say there is good and bad and evil and so on, we can see that the word bad, for instance, in fact, I don't know the derivative of the word bad as apart from, there was a word I came across in the scriptures, which is almost, okay, it doesn't come to mind now. But we know about the good and evil. It is this O here that we need to recognize, the 6, which is the O, which is the 8 when it's twisted. This is also meaning God, because when we do the numerical value for 7, 6, 4, this equals 17. And of course, God created us good. So 1 plus 7 is 8. But what we need to also recognize, this O that is missing in good, which we are, has a numerical value of 6. When we write the word 6, we have 1, 9, 6. Adding this together gives us 16. 1 plus 6 gives us 7. So we can see from 7 would give us, the word 7 would give us 20. The word 20, this is where we need to understand that we are also good. We are God. We are healthy cells being God. Okay, so 20, of course, we are looking at the symbols of the numbers, but let's look at the word 20, T-W-E-N-T-Y, which is 725552. Adding these 15, 17, 18, 19, 26, 26, 2 plus 6. Now, this 20 is in direct correlation with the numerical value of 8, also as 26, as in Judaism for God. So we can see, for people who are asking me or saying, well, how do you put this in different languages? We can see the common thread in the religions, or the main religions in the world, we could say, or the main religions. We could see the relationship, and everything is relational anyway. But this is what I really want to point out here. So we are good. So this is what it was when Mother Eve saw the fruit. She saw it, or the word saw, of course, we have seen the word saw is 115, which equals 7. So Mother Eve saw the fruit, that it was good. It was good. The word was basically is the same as saw, W-A-S, and she saw it. Basically, there was an in and an out. There was an introspection and an out. I'm looking for the word for out, or retrospection, whatever we want to put it as. So there we see it has the value of 7. 7 for the word saw, and 7 for the word was. She saw it was good, so was. And the word it gives us 11, meaning that it's telling you there are two aspects here, the internal and the external view or representation of 7 right here. And of course, it's like the depiction of the 7 gods again. They saw, Mother Eve saw, meaning there was 2 ways. You see, which is what we call present, and we saw, which is what we call past tense. And each of these, to be present, for instance, is the serpent being present. And of course, to be in the past, it's giving a reference, because the word past has in it, it has this as. So it's giving a representation of the present tense as well. So here, for us to be able to grasp all of this, we need to see ourselves as good. Now, there is a working that is required from us. We need to see ourselves as God, because this 6, as I say, it shows the 7 value here. It shows when we do the numerical value for 6, which gives us 7, and 7 in turn gives us 20, which 20 takes us back to 26, which is 8. And there we have the same vibrational value as God. So here is the thing. We could see, now we are seeing just this 0 here, which is not. It really is not, N-O-T, which is nothing. This is why we learn that we are nothing, but we are spirit, and of course we are of God. So we can see nothing breeds after its kind. Nothing comes into your consciousness unless you find something like itself on which to attach itself to. Words of Emmett Fox. And so we need to be able to identify ourselves with God, to be able to see ourselves as God, because that is what we are. Hence, Mother Eve, as God, has called us to come, let us create man in our image after our likeness. And this is the 8th entrance or entry of Mother Eve, the 8th entry of her lettings, because Mother Eve is about lettings. She's about contracts. She's about the written word. And this is why Mother Eve has also said that we now are to call on this God, the call to God, which was not planned the way I wrote this in, but Mother Eve, it's like sometimes I feel there's an invisible hand really writing with me. I didn't plan how this was going to happen, but Mother Eve has now really instructed us that we are to address this one. This one, of course, when we write the numerical value for the word one, it equals 7. 1 equals 7. And this tells us this is the called God. The called God operates with the mouth. The called God operates through words and through sounds. And that's why Mother Eve said, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but the spirit of sound mind. So, sound mind, of course, has 2 meanings or 2 ways we could put this as well. So, to be able to think well, to be able to have a strong mind, to be able to trust, to be able to have wisdom and exercise that wisdom. So there we are saying that we are now ready to be calling on the called God, who has the sixth position in the scriptures of Genesis, how we have seen the entry in that Adamic stage. That's interesting, because Adam is supposed to be, after Christ, and Adam appears in Genesis. That's another thing that has come to mind. Again, it makes sense to break down words and to understand. That means the Christ spirit, as Christians tell you too, that Christ was in the beginning and everything was in the beginning. But this is why I'm saying as well, the word Christ has a strong correlation with Mother Eve. And so the Mother Eve's message or lettings is that of Christ. Okay, so undermade God here. Okay, so now we have the 6th position, which has the numerical value of 6 as in Mother Eve here. So we can see in all of this here, we have these two sixes, and they have actually, meaning here, Mother Eve has the 6 value here, and Mother Eve is the one who encapsulates all the gods. So it's like Christ he was mentor to all the 12 disciples, meaning that he embodied all the 12 disciples, we could say. And he would know them, he was in tune with them, and so that would be Mother Eve with the 13 gods, including Mother Eve, which is 14 gods. So there we have, they have actually swapped, and Mother Eve is really saying, now this God is not the first God here. This God takes the second position now. So the said God takes the created God, which was the first in the beginning. God created the heaven and earth. Now he takes the second position, because what it is, in fact, and I was reading through the other eras that we had as Noah, as Abraham, as David, and Jesus, and so on. Always like when Christ was born, and they called him, and Abraham called and named. So basically, before creation, or the creation is done, we are to call on the called God, call what we want into being, call what manifestation that we are desiring into being. This is it. It has the ALL in here, meaning that all what we are requiring to do should be considered here. It has the word deal as well, DEAL. So that too is encapsulates Mother Eve's attributes of doing the deals with the gods. So basically, we need to call to be able to do the deals that are necessary, the transaction, because they were like transactions with the gods. The lettings, when Mother Eve said, let there be light, and there was light, or let the waters from the firmament divide the waters from that which is below, from beneath, and so on. Well, it went on. I have to read these things like several times before they really make sense, and I'm still not sure it has made sense altogether. But numerology is what really does it for me. It helps me really make sense of things. So we can see by calling on the God, we are harnessing a cycle. It's like we bring everything, that all, bring it all. And we can see the ED, meaning like it is the God itself is telling us, like there's a past tense in his to his name, that is experience. This is a cycle again. And of course, 1 is that 7, which goes into that cycle. And this is the same cycle that Abraham and Sarah, because when God changed Sarah's name to Sarah, that equaled 20. And of course, Sarai was like 21. I'm thinking, well, God, what are you talking about? What are you doing here? That is more points. Actually, that is taking off some points of the name. No, but when we read on, there was so much happening there. It's that 20 is actually 8, because I was wondering, well, how is Sarah now on the same vibration with her husband who is 8? It didn't make sense. But when you do the numerical value for the word 20, as I have shown, we can see that 20 is actually 8. And so Abraham really was on the same vibration with his wife, because how else could they conceive? So that would be something else. This is a joke. Well, it's a serious joke, but it's a journey. It can be a humorous journey. It could be a a knowledgeable and understanding and a witty journey as we explore those stories. Okay, so basically I feel that there is much to cover, and I still want to do this presentation on the way, the truth, and the light, and I will do that. But I felt we were going here. I'm not even quite sure how I almost got into it, but it's like the gods, because I did call on the gods to assist in these presentations, and they are flowing beautifully right now. So we are good, we are God, and of course we are 20, if you want to put it this way, because it's that two that like in the symbol of two. So this is the rock. This is again when Christ said to Peter, upon this rock I will build my church, because the word rock equals 20. So you can see 20 is 8 right there, and that coincides with the story of Mother Eve. It's about 8. It's all about 8. Who ate? It's all about food. So we can see this coincides again, like with Moses. It's Noah and all of those that I have done on the presentations, but it's about 8. And basically I really feel that we need to see ourselves, as I say, as good, because the word good equals 5. This is when we see ourselves good, and we do this on a daily basis. We renew ourselves, because we have this RE here as well, which is cyclical. There was another thing that reminded me of the cycles of renewal. I may have to examine that again. But this is what is important for us to see. So we are God. God equals 8. And we can see the word mouth, which is what Mother Eve represents, because she ate. She ate. The word ate actually equals God. So basically, when Mother Eve saw that the fruit was good, and a fruit to make one wise, why are we seeing this as a sin? Because all this teaching was already programmed in the word created. It was programmed in the word breathed. All the gifts of the word created it has in it the word act, A-C-T, acted. This is what like we do all the time. It has the word eat, E-A-T. It has the word et, A-T-E. All those things were already there in that creation. It has the word rate. How are we rating this story that we have heard or we have been told? So it is interesting. And then we also know about the word breathed. There's another word before I go on. There's the word T-E-A. So which we always drink tea. That would coincide with the story of Christ, breaking of the bread and drinking of the wine. Okay. And we have the same thing with the word breathed. And of course, man became a living soul. The word living, the word live has Mother Eve in it. So, or the word live has Mother Eve in it. So basically, Mother Eve is the mother of all living, and life had to come about. So we have been given the gift of life. Let's embrace it. And life actually equals 5, which is Mother Eve. Mother Eve is life, or Christ is life, or Kundalini is life, or pineal gland is life. To open is life, because we need to be open. The word open, of the word lock as well. is life. The word anchor is life. We have these 5 here representing our 5 oceans, our 5 senses, and so on. There is so much to it. Okay, so do join me again when I still going to attempt to do this presentation on the way, the truth, and the life. Okay, let there be light, and there was light.